Yeah, I'll fuck you up.
That'll be a good intro, that.
All right, FightHype.com here with world-class trainer Dave Coldwell. Dave, welcome to Chicago.
Thank you. It's nice to be here.
What brings you out here? I mean, obviously I see Tony in the background. You guys just coming out to check it out?
I've got Gav McDonald boxing for the world title on Saturday night.
Of course.
So I'm looking forward to that. So that's the primary reason why we're here. The fact is that I've had to bring all the guys over here, Tony Bellew, Jordan Gill, Anthony Fowler, because they've all got big fights coming up.
So you're in the middle of training still.
Yeah, so between now and November 10th, we have a lot of big fights back in the UK. So, you know, we've all come over as a team and training's carried on as normal over here in Chicago.
Is that tough to juggle? I mean,
yeah, you have to manage time really well. It's like today, because the timing of the press conference, it's like I've trained Fowler already this morning, then I'll train the other guys later on this evening. Jordan Gill's got some sparring over here. So you just have to juggle things around, but it's what we do.
How do you arrange that though? Like, are you responsible for getting everyone's tickets and everything?
Yeah, you have to, like I said, it's a bit of a juggle and a bit of a ball ache. Matt Shum, thankfully, are very, very good on that sort of things. Just pick up the phone and say, I need flights for so-and-so. They're all coming out. They'll arrange those. Just ask me where I want to fly from, what times I want to fly, and that's basically about it. But the training side of things, then I've got to juggle everything around.
Yeah. So how's training camp been going for everybody? Actually?
Yeah, very good, very good. You know, Gavin's in a really good place. He's really excited for Saturday night. He's been on these camps before with his brother Jamie McDonald, when we've been over to Texas twice, you know, Monaco twice. So he's experienced the going away, especially the stateside, and he's always looked forward to actually one day coming over here and fighting himself. Now he's got that fight for the WBA super title, you know, it's his moment. It's his time to shine, step out of his brother's shadow, and create a name and a legacy for himself.
Obviously, I know you've probably done a lot of studying up on Danny and looked at a lot of tapes.
Yeah,
what kind of a fight are you expecting out of him?
I'm expecting a really good fight, a very good fight. Do you know what? They're both very, very evenly matched and in terms of, they're not like stand out. Wow, look at this guy, look at this champion, look at this champion. They don't do anything like extraordinary where you look at anything. Wow, they're brilliant. But when you get in the ring with them, they're the kind of guys where they're better than what they look like on TV, and whereas you think, oh, you can just do this with them, you get in the ring and it's not quite as easy as what you had planned, you know, and that's why both of them are up at the top, and they're both, you know, one's a champion and one's a challenger for the title. Some fighters you just look at and you look, wow, they look phenomenal. And other fighters, you don't quite get it until you're in the ring with them. And I think these two guys are that kind of fighter. Very, very evenly matched. Both got great engines on him. Both can work. Both can throw body shots. You know, both have good straight shots. It's a very, very evenly matched fight. Obviously, I think my guy's got the slight advantage, but I think when it comes to these two, it's the desire and the work ethic that's probably got them to where they are today. Not more than like natural talent, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Both guys that haven't had the big fanfare in promotions and hyped up and things like that, they've got there on their own merits through hard work, and that always gives you, when two guys meet like that always gives you a good fight, because there's no giving either of them. So, you know, we're gonna have a good fight on Saturday night.
You mentioned they were evenly matched. It sounds like that could end up being a very, very close fight.
Yeah.
Is there any concern about the judges going? I mean, obviously.
No.
Okay.
No, you can't go into a fight worrying about that. All we have to do is we have to win the rounds clearly. And when things aren't happening, when nothing's happening, we've got to still be active. You know, you'll see when they're face to face. Gavin has physical advantages over Danny, and he has to make that pay. You know, it's no secret. I'm not giving away a game plan, but it's common sense. You know, if you've got longer arms and longer, you know, you're taller, you kind of want to make sure that in those moments that you can make that pay, you do make it pay, because there's going to be moments in this fight where they're both close and it becomes an inside battle. Gavin can fight on the inside, but he's also got that added ability where he can fight on the outside. So use that as much as you can. When it becomes on the inside, cope with it as you have to then.
If the fight is close and it's coming down the stretch, are there specific instructions you give to all your fighters, or is it different pertaining to the different guys?
It's different because some fighters, you can't have one way of training fighters and one set of instructions for everybody.
Right.
Because fighter A may be able to do them in his style, his makeup, his abilities. Fighter B might not. So if I'm trying to, whereas A can do that, then if I try and give the same instructions to fighter B, who's not physically capable of doing that, then it's a waste of time. You're telling a fighter to do something that you know that he can't do. So you have to know your fighters. You have to know what they're able to pull off before you give the instruction, because they have to be able to carry that off. You know, it's like when fighters say, when trainers just say, you're losing, get on the inside, get on the inside. But you've got to tell them how to get on the inside. If for the whole of the fight, they've not been having success on the outside, and really they need to be on the inside, but they've not been able to, well, you can't, when it comes down to the last couple rounds, I'll just get on the inside. You've got to tell them how to do it, and they've got to actually be able to fight on the inside. You know, I'm looking at Gavin can fight on the inside, he can fight on the inside, he can fight on the outside. So can Danny. So it's a good fight. It's a really good fight.
Yeah. Gotta ask you real quick. Obviously, Tony is back there in the background. I've been curious to know why Usyk. I mean, he was coming off one of his best wins of his career. He probably could have won in any direction.
He was retired. He was basically retired.
Right.
You know, I'd said I wanted him to retire after the Hay fight done. You've got nothing else to prove. And then Usyk, in that fantastic display against Gassiev, called out his name in the ring. Bellew's the kind of man that if you're calling his name out in the ring, he's not going to shy away, you know. And he didn't. He was like, okay, well, this is it. It's for all the belts. You know, it's a legacy fight. You know, how many fighters, when you turn pro as a kid, you want to become world champion? How many fighters actually get to fight for a unified, undisputed championship for the world? That is something special.
Yeah.
So when that opportunity comes knocking at your door, if you can live with yourself and say, no, that's not for me, cool. I would have liked him to walk away, but I understand that is just something there. It's there. You know, you won't fight away from having a legacy and you know, creating history, you know, for British boxing. So he's got to take it, and that's his mentality. He's taking it, and it's a fight that gets his juices going, because it's Usyk. He's a great fighter, you know, a fantastic fighter. He told me about Usyk way before he turned pro, way before Usyk turned pro. So I've been watching him since back then. So it's not a surprise what Usyk's going to do, because we tipped him to win that World Boxing Series straight away, you know, and he did. And Gassiev, the way that Gassiev fought, played into Usyk's hands, and it was just, you can't just look for one shot against Usyk, because he's just too good a fighter, too good a boxer. So, you know, you have to do little things, you have to do different things in order to have success. But you can have success against Usyk. There are fights where you see he's a very good fighter, but all fighters have two arms, two legs, a chin and a body that can both be penetrated, you know. And it's just a case of earning the right shots to get those sort of punches off.
Yeah.
And Bellew's got a very good brain. He's got a very good boxing brain. It's going to be a good fight. It's going to be a hell of a fight. It's going to be a hard fight, but it's going to be a hard fight for both men.
Is there any concern about moving down from heavyweight? Obviously, a lot of people point to Roy Jones Jr. when he did that.
I mean, I'm not going to lie. My initial reaction with this fight was, I said to Tony, I said, do it at 15 stone. And he was like, no, because I don't get anything for it. People are going to say, oh, you've dragged him up out of his weight division, even though he's talking about going up to heavyweight himself. And Usyk wanted it at 15 stone himself. Tony wants something at the end of it. He wants all them belts. You know, he wants that tag. So the decision was made. His weight's coming off nicely, but obviously, you know, nobody knows until you get in the ring on fight night. As he's progressing now, everything looks good. Everything looks fine. But you know, it's boxing. I'm not going to say I'm a genius. I know it all. I know his body. I know how he's going to react, because, like you said, Roy Jones Jr. people like that. What I will say is that when Tony was heavier, it wasn't muscle. You know, it wasn't. He's not a ripped sort of guy. I would have more concerns if it was ripped and then coming down in weight, because you're taking off pure muscle, which is a hard thing to do. And then you see the Roy Jones syndrome, where you know you're getting there and it's never the same fight. Yeah. Whereas Tony had put on weight, it's not. You know, it's there to lose. He got it to lose. So. Fingers crossed that you know that mindset that I've got and the ideas that I've got on that work. But you speak to nutritionists and people like that, and they're experts. I'm not an expert on what your body does with making weight. I know a little,
right.
But I have people, or I speak to people that are experts when I don't know something, and they seem to feel that he's fine. He feels fine in what he's doing. So, you know, everything should be all right.
Do you prefer him at cruiserweight, or do you prefer him at heavyweight? Like, where do you feel like he fights best at?
At cruiserweight is his best weight, without a doubt. It just felt that in the hay fights at about 15 stone, he, you know, when he's hitting the pads and things like that, it's a hell of a lot harder. And I'm not talking about, oh yeah, well, it's a bit heavier, obviously going to get harder. No, I'm talking about the way he delivers the shots and the amount of force it manages to generate and absorb as well. That's my main thing. Is if he can absorb what he can absorb at 15 stone at 14.4 still, then there's no issues.
He looked a lot more comfortable. Not I don't want to say more comfortable, but just like a little more at ease at heavyweight. Like he didn't have to worry about making the weight or anything like that.
I think all fighters, to be honest, will always seem happier in themselves when they haven't got a weight to make. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's a big guy. People don't get that. They talk about he got done at light heavyweight. Yes, at light heavyweight. I mean, you see the size of this kid.
Yeah, no, I was shocked.
And you think how did he make 12 stone 7?
Right.
You know? He's a lot bigger than what you think. On TV, you don't see, because people, you know, he's not ripped. People have this thing in their mind that if you haven't got muscles on muscles, you're not a real fighter. You know, oh, you can cut weight, you can do this. James Toney was a great fighter. But even at middleweight, he wasn't ripped.
Yeah.
You know, Larry Holmes at heavyweight, great fighter, not ripped. You know, you can go through history of see really good fighters. People I think people are that caught up in S&C and all the scientific side of fitness part of boxing that they've forgotten that actually technique and boxing skills wins fights 9 times out of 10.
Yeah.
You know, and Bellew can box, and he has a brain, and he has skills, underrated skills, and skills that are quite subtle. He's not a flash, you know. He's not Roy Jones, he's not a Floyd Mayweather type, but he's got boxing ability, and that's what wins fights ultimately.
Assuming all goes well, he gets the victory.
Yeah.
Is that it? Done?
That's it.
No more?
No more. No, that's it. I don't care what Eddie says, whatever it comes dangling. That's it. That's it. Because, you know, what else is there to achieve?
Is that it for him, though? Is that it for him?
I believe so. You know, for starters, I won't let him box. More importantly, his wife won't let him box. Right?
That is the most important.
That's the most important thing. You know, there's only a couple of people that really have input.
But what if there's an opportunity for a heavyweight title?
But I've already said, and we've already said, he ain't never going to fight Anthony Joshua, ever.
And the only other one is Deontay Wilder.
But forget about being like that. The guys like AJ and Wilder are too big and dangerous.
Right? He's
not an heavyweight.
I mean, he is smaller, but
he's not a heavyweight.
But if you had to prepare him for one of those fights, do you think he could win that fight?
Yeah, but what you've got to understand is when you're getting hit off of those guys, and you're talking about damage to a guy. He's healthy, thank God, and his faculties are intact. He's achieved everything he's dreamed of and more. He's let's presume everything goes right in November 10th. He becomes undisputed champion. Yeah. Walk away from the game. Your family's secure. You don't have to box again. Every time if you're not naturally that size, and you're going to go in against the guy. Right, Wilder is so long, so tall, but the range of him and the power that he generates with that range, when you're on the end of those shots, it's lethal. And if you're not naturally, if you're not naturally equipped to take those kind of shots off of somebody, they do damage. You know, you're talking about not talking about necessarily counting to 10 and you're out. You're talking about in a few years' time, how is that going to affect you? Yeah. You know, I don't want to see him in that sort of position. You know, let's get out now while you're cool, while everything's fine. There's always going to be that carrot. There's always going to be. It's like when you buy a house, you afford your first house. You want to get the next house a bit bigger, a bit nicer. Yeah. You get that one, then you see somebody else in a nice bigger house. You think, oh, I want that house. You stretch yourself too far, you end up broke. You can't afford to go out. You can't afford to go out to dinner. You can't afford because you stretch yourself too far. Right. Next minute, you can't afford the payments. Boom, you're gone. In boxing, it's a little bit different. you're talking about risking gambling with your health. And like I said, it's not just, please God, it's not just you get knocked out, you don't get up.
Right.
I'm talking about you get up, you feel fine, you go home to your family, you carry on with life, but in a few years' time, you're slowing down. In a few years' time, this is boxing, this is, and the guys, the power that the guys like Wilder and Anthony Joshua generate, for guys that aren't that weight and aren't, they're not built in that way, it's too much. It is too much. For me, it is. I mean, I might be talking shit. People might think that what you're talking about, but for me, that's my opinion. I've been his coach for five years or so, but I've been his friend for well over a decade, and I wouldn't want to see. I care about it. I want to see him going some sort of fights and rolling that dice. I'm one of those guys that if I have, I don't gamble. But if I have a little play on a table and I win a few quid, I'll walk away. I'll quit while I'm ahead.
Yeah.
That's
That's
how I see it.
smart play. That's smart play.